Alright everybody, welcome to the stream. Today I'm going to be working on some more Ork Boyz and also testing out my new camera setup. I think I got a slightly better angle on the camera that I want to try out for painting. And I'm testing out a new way of base coating my miniatures. So, sorry, not base coating, priming. So what I did with these guys is I primed them black first, and then I did so I kind of turned them from this angle here, from the bottom, and I just hit it with black primer, so you can kind of see it's got a darker, almost a black color there. And then what I did is I hit, once that was dry, I hit it again very lightly with a gray primer from the sides. And then at the very end, I did one more light spray of white primer from the top. So I kind of have this almost like a gradient from light colors at the top down to darker colors from the bottom. So I'm gonna try that out for my as my priming, and I did that on all the I think I have about 5 boys here. Yeah, I got 5 more boys to paint, so I'll be working on these guys tonight. A few little things to clean up on them here. Just noticing some Hey Chris, how's it going, man? I actually just picked up this tool the other day. It's the Citadel mold line remover. I've never actually used this thing before. I thought these were sharp, but it's actually just like it's like a flat metal. But it's really good for removing these little mold lines on the models. Let's see if I can find one here. Like, see this orc here? I don't know if you'll be able to see that on the camera, but there's like a little spot right there. It's like a bump. That's where the top part of the body was attached to the sprue. So I'm just going to... It just kind of scrapes it off. It's a pretty cool tool. This guy's pretty clean. I don't see any mold lines on him. This guy has the same thing, right? It's kind of hard to see on the camera. Right there. There's like a little edge. Yeah, it just kind of smooths that part out. This guy's good. Oh, he's got something right here on the back of his... right there. Yeah, that just comes off so easily with this tool. A little bit over here. It's weird because this whole time I thought, every time I've seen pictures of this tool, I thought that this was just a sharp X-Acto knife blade, but it's not sharp at all. Like I can, as you can see, I can, you know what I mean? Like it's just flat edged metal, and of course the edge here is what you use to scrape, and that part is obviously a little bit sharp against the plastic, but interesting tool. All right, almost ready to get started here. This guy here. Cool, thanks, man. Testing out my new camera setup as well. Oh, this guy's got a little chunky thing on this helmet there. Anybody catch the opening ceremonies today for the Olympics? Yeah, me too. I was working on my Kickstarter stuff, so I didn't really get to watch. I caught a little bit of it while I was eating dinner. But I didn't really have time. Alright. Which one should we start with? Maybe this guy here. So, we're going to start off with some Orange Fang Brown for the vests. I'm trying out a slightly different technique tonight. Watering down my paints just a little bit more than I usually do. And I'll do more layers. Hey, Robot Crash, how's it going? Chilling before you pass out. Cool. Yeah, the eternal debate whether to magnetize stuff or not. I have some orc stuff that like a couple orc jets and stuff that as I was building, I was trying to figure out, do I want to magnetize this? Do I want to magnetize this? Or do I just build it one way and then leave it that way? That's true. You could do that as well. I played around with magnetizing a few things here and there. It's kind of cool, but after a while it almost kind of gets boring. Like, it's a lot of work. Well, actually it depends. Depends what the model's like. Some stuff is easy to magnetize, the other stuff is just like, I don't know.
It's all I wanna do.
Yeah.
It's all I wanna do. It's all I wanna do. It's all I wanna do.
Yeah, some stuff is just, what I find for me is that I always seem to run out of the right magnets. Like, I have a whole bunch of different sized ones, and it seems like the one that would be perfect is always the one that I'm out of. And then I have like a slightly smaller one, which kind of works, but not 100%. So I might need to just order a whole bunch more magnets, so that I always have the right ones in stock.
And I know you do too, when the answer's right in front of me. It's all I wanna do. You not to break out students to I know you not to break out students to I wanna you not to break out students to I.
Oh, so they use like a magnet on one side and then just like a nail head on the other? That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, those rare earth magnets, they're pretty strong, so even if it's just a magnet on one side, it'll usually hold.
It's all I wanna do. Believe Believe, believe it's all I wanna do. Believe, believe it's all I wanna do.
So which direction are you leaning? Are you thinking you will magnetize it, or you think you're just gonna not do it? Yeah, that's the challenge I have as well with my lack of experience playing the game. When I'm building the models, it's like I try to read the codex and stuff like that and look at the different weapons and all that and try to figure out, well, how the heck am I supposed to know what's good? I mean, I can read and I can understand what the different weapons are and stuff like that, but without the experience of playing a lot of games, it's like it's kind of hard to figure out what would be useful. From a practical perspective rather than theoretical.
As I fell to the ocean floor, fading light through an open door, I saw myself rise with the water. They thought they could keep me down, hold their breath and watch me drown, but all they did was push me higher. We don't care what they say, we will be here all day, we'll stay until it's over, till the world's out of sight, we will stand.
I think I'm liking this priming that I did. I'm playing around with different ways of priming my minis, and this time around I primed them black from below, and then I did a light spray of gray from kind of the side, and then I did white from the top. Just really light coats, like just a very fine dusting. I can't remember what the glaives look like. Do you have a link to what they look like? Maybe the GW site or something? I usually kind of just go with, if in doubt, go with whatever looks better. But that's just me, because to me, painting and collecting is, at least up until now, it's been more up my alley than actually playing the game. And even playing the game, when I play, it'll be for fun rather than like to get into a really competitive, tournament ready type army scenario. Let's take a look. Oh, that's funny. I was just looking at those in a White Dwarf magazine that I had on my desk. Yeah, I see. So, which one is the, like, I guess they have this option of like a sword. Oh, these are the old ones, the metal ones. Yeah, they're pretty cool looking. You know what? I'm looking at those models. I'm thinking it might be worth to magnetize them. Because they look really nice. They're really good looking models. The one with the big horns, yeah, it looks good. Alright, this guy's got his vest. He's done.
There is nothing that they can do to protect a king and his fool. Caught in the fire, watch it burn. Ash to ash, now it's our turn. Take their kingdom down and smash it to pieces. Turn their feet around, they will leave defeated. They will crumble at the sight of our legion. If you want the crown, then you've got to break.
That sounds cool. Yeah, that's one thing that I kind of like about the GW stuff is there is that element of getting extra bits or modifying and kind of fine-tuning your models to your liking, whereas other models or other companies or other games, it's a little bit different. It's mostly like whatever you get in the box, that's what it is. Like, you know, like let's say a game like Infinity with the models being metal, it's not much choice there. You just kind of build it and that's it. Same thing with War Machine. A lot of them are there's only really one way to build it. With GW stuff, like with the orcs and stuff like that, there's so many extra bits, so many different ways you can customize and add little fine details to make your army more unique compared to someone else. Hey Bitwars, how's it going? I do have 3 cameras set up, yeah. The third one here, that's got this little orc right there, one in the bottom right corner. I'm still working on figuring out the best use for it. I got it set up, but for now it's just kind of a spare camera to show the models that I'm working on. Hey, Broken Colony. Did I win? Was I supposed to win something? What did I miss? So you have to do a little bit of modifying. Well, the other option would be to just build it one way and later on get some more warriors and build them the other way. Yeah, that's my little, we'll call it the spotlight camera. Oops. Thinning paint, as in like for brushwork? Or are you talking about airbrush stuff? I'm assuming you're talking about brush stuff. Well, I'm definitely no expert at it. I'm actually just learning the process myself. But what I can do is I can show you what I do, and if you find it useful, great. If not, then just discard it and forget I ever said anything. I'll show you in a second here. It's kind of a work in progress how I'm doing it. I'll show you. So for example, right now I'm working with Mornfang Brown, which is a base color, and the base colors, the Citadel base colors compared to a layer, you might already know this, but the layer paints, I believe, don't have as much. Alright, thanks for tuning in, Robot Crash. Have a good night. The layer colors are not as thick, they don't have as much pigment as the base colors. Right, so with a base I'll usually thin it down a little bit more. And what I use is something like this, which is a wet palette. And it's basically just like a sponge, and it's soaked with water. So the top part of the sponge is actually, it's not that wet, but if you put your fingers on it, like my finger's wet, right, like that, it's soaked up. And then I just have one of these papers, and I use, this is a palette from P3, Privateer Press. So it's like a palette paper, and you just rip off a piece and you put it on. And usually what happens with this stuff is when you put it on, the part that gets wet starts to curl on you. So what I do is I put it on, get it wet, and I flip it around. And so once it's kind of, I usually get it a little bit wet. And then what I basically be doing is, let's see if I can get this into the camera angle. So basically I just like take my brush, load it up with, let's say, that much paint, and I'll just like drop it down. I'll grab a little bit more paint, drop it down, let's say 3 of those, drop it down. I'll get that off the brush. So now I have the paint on there, and this is the same thickness as it's in the vial, right? And then if I want to thin it down, I'll just dip my brush in the water, which you can't really see on the stream, but see how there's like a droplet of water there? There's actually 2. One's kind of on top, but it's just water, right? And then what I'll kind of do is I won't put it right on top, or maybe for the first drop, yeah, let's say for the first drop I'll put it right on top, and that just kind of thins down that paint right there. Alright, you can kind of see that over here it's already, that paint is much thinner than the stuff up here. But sometimes if I want to have like a sometimes if I want to have like a wider range of different watered down, what I'll do is I'll take droplet and I'll put it like a little bit further away from the main paint, like over here. So this part is a little bit wetter, and you'll see how I can kind of bring that paint over here, and I'll create almost like a gradient of thinness levels. So over here it's thicker, closer to what's in the vial, and over here it's thinner, thinned down paint. And like what I might go and dip another thing and put another thicker paint. So like now I've got this setup where this is thick and this is like really watered down paint. And then what I'll do is I'll just kind of dip my brush in a spot, like let's say somewhere here in the middle, and I'll go on my model and try painting, and if it seems too watered down, then I move to the right. If it seems too thick, then I move to the left. So I kind of do that. But as you can see, because I'm holding the palette on a kind of an angle, all the paint's kind of running all over the place. But in either case, you kind of get the idea. The paint is a little bit thinner here than straight out of the vial. And then like if I go to here to apply the paint, like to me, I don't know, that seems like a pretty good consistency. It's thin, so it doesn't, like it's not leaving like a chunky. That's kind of the thickness or watered down level that I go for, or that I aim for. But like I said, I'm no expert. There's probably other streamers out there that are much better at this than I am. And the thing is, for me also, I'm painting at like my goal, especially for these orcs, is I'm painting to level of tabletop. Like this is not commission work. I'm not getting paid for these orcs, and I'm not spending like 12 to 15 hours painting one miniature. I'm trying to get these guys done fast, so I'm not going to be doing like 20 layers. I'm not going to do like 20 really thin layers to get, you know, really smooth gradients and that kind of stuff. I'm more just get the paint on there. I don't want it looking chunky, but I also don't want to be doing like, I don't want to water down too much, because then you have to do a lot of layers. And then I'll just do like a wash and a dry brush on it, and it'll be tabletop ready, at least to my standards. He bought a medical kit. That's cool. Yeah, I've played with like Tupperware stuff, whatever, but I don't know. When it comes to this hobby, it's like I always feel like if I don't like when I saw this palette, I've seen other people do different things, and I always wonder if I don't buy the official tool that was specifically for this hobby, I always wonder if like I'm missing out on something. And I know that it's just in my head, but it's like where's that tool that I was using? It's like this thing. It's like mold line remover or whatever. For the longest time, I thought this was just an X-Acto knife with a curved blade from the pictures. So I had an X-Acto knife and I was using that to remove my mold lines, and it wasn't working that well. It was okay. But then the other day I went to the store and I bought this. I'm like, oh, whatever. I'm overpaying for a stupid X-Acto knife. But whatever, I'll buy it anyways. And then when I opened it up, it's actually not an X-Acto knife at all. It's just like a rounded metal plate. And it's not sharp at all. But it's really good for removing the mold lines. So it's kind of like that with with stuff like the wet palette or brushes or whatever. Like when I see GW selling brushes or something like that, I mean, you know, I've talked to friends about this as well. They would be like, well, why would I spend like 15 bucks for a brush when I can go to Michael's and get one cheaper? And then they go to Michael's and they get cheap brushes, and then they have trouble painting, and then they don't know, is it because the brushes are crappy, or is it because, you know, they don't know what they're doing? And sometimes it's a little bit of both, but so it all depends. Yeah, you can go ahead and link that tutorial, Broken Colony. That's fine. Yeah, Winsor & Newton, that's on my list of stuff to order. As well as I've been looking into airbrush stuff. I actually have an airbrush compressor, but it's like it's just a compressor, it's not an airbrush compressor. Meaning it's like one of the ones you buy like at a hardware store, not an art supply store. So when I turn the thing on, it's like so loud, and because I paint late at night, there's absolutely no way I'd be able to ever use that in the middle of the night without waking everybody up in the neighborhood. So I need to get a better compressor, so I've been researching some of that. I want something really nice and quiet, and I'm kind of kicking myself for buying the other one because I was trying to save money. So I bought a cheapy one, thinking, whatever. How different can it be? It's just a compressor, it just blows air. But now I'm gonna have to buy a second one. Although, at least with that compressor, the other one, it's more like an automotive one, so I do use it like to pump up tires and or air tools and stuff. So it's not like I really wasted money on it. I still use it, but I mean for the hobby, I don't use it. You're never leaving, RoboCrash. I do the same thing in the stream. I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna stream for another 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and like two more hours goes by. Cool, I'll check out that link later, Broken Colony, after the stream. Yeah, you know, to be honest, I actually did that test, and it technically can't, like, my wife can't hear it when she's sleeping. If I turned it on here, it would probably be okay. But it's so loud for me, like, even in, like, being in the same room. I was thinking it might work, but the other day I was actually using it to pump up a tire, and it's too loud. I'm like, I don't want to be listening to this thing. If I had to like paint with it for a couple hours, it'd be giving me a headache just listening to this stupid thing. So I want to get a nice, quiet one. Yeah, unless I could somehow jimmy rig some sort of noise reduction device for it, but yeah, I definitely got to get some nicer brushes. These brushes are actually from Michael's. I've picked up a few different ones just to kind of see how they feel. Because all my GW brushes are wrecked. I needed to get some more, and they didn't really have anything at the store. My local gaming store, they had like nothing left. All the brushes are always sold out there, so I ended up getting a few from Michael's, and I don't know, the bristles, like you said, the bristles are kind of soft on these, and they're kind of driving me nuts. Matt's an Aussie. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, I'm thinking of just going straight for the Series 7. Like, just investing in a really nice set of brushes. Maybe it'll make me a better painter. Sorry guys, I gotta turn off my Skype notifications. I have some Eldar as well. Not my main army, but Eldar were actually the second army I ever bought for Warhammer 40k. Tau were actually my first. I bought a Tau army and I tried painting them the traditional like tan colored, like that brownish tan color the Tau used to be shown on the box as, and they just look horrible. Like I didn't like my paint job on them, so I found them really hard to paint. And then I was at the store, I don't know, picking up some paints or something, and like that same week GW just re-released like a whole bunch of Eldar stuff, and I saw some of the stuff they released. I was like, whoa, these guys look way better than the Tau. So I picked up some Eldar, and I painted, I started painting those, and I did a much better job painting the Eldar. I don't know if just because I got more experience butchering the Tau, or if the Eldar were just easier to paint, but either way, I was a lot happier with the Eldar, with my painting of the Eldar, I should say. And then I think then I moved to this house, and all my stuff got boxed up, so I had to kind of take a break from the hobby for a bit. And when I came back, I got re-addicted when I bought a Games Workshop released, I think it was called Assault on Blackreach, that's what it was called. I think it was Space Marines versus Orcs, and that's when I started getting into both Orcs and Space Marines. Oh, the Australian internet issue. That sucks, man. We're so fortunate here in Canada. We have pretty good internet. Kind of take it for granted, but yeah, it's those Australian bugs. I don't know if it's a big giant spider or if it's a big giant moth. As you guys can see, I'm doing a little bit of batch painting today. Faster way to get these guys done, so I don't have to switch. I don't have to switch paint colors. I just do like 5 at a time. Same color. Yeti Go Smash. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Orcs are good. Testing out a new priming thing I did. See how from the bottom, if I look at it's like they're dark? It's because I primed them black from the bottom, and then I turned them this way and I primed them gray from the side. And then from the top I primed them white. So it's kind of like a white, gray, black right on the priming. And I'm testing to see if that's gonna... Yeah, exactly, appreciating. I'm trying to paint thinner layers. More watered down layers, so that some of that pre-shading shines through, I guess. I don't know if I'm succeeding at it yet, but we will see. Yeah, I never actually heard of pre-shading until a couple weeks ago when I was watching Grendler's stream, and he had black. He had primed his miniature black and then white from the top. And I was like, whoa, what is that? What'd you do there? And he was kind enough to explain to me what it is and how it works. But then I had the idea of doing 3 colors. What if you did, instead of just black and white, what if you did black, gray, and white? Now, here's the question. Is that the guy's skin? See, I see a couple of almost what looks like stitches there, so I think that's actually his vest. It is his vest now, painting it brown. Yeah, that's the other reason I'm kind of testing it out too, is I want to learn how it works, and then when I start playing around with a little bit of airbrushing, hopefully it'll help me out there. Especially, like you said, for bigger stuff, like vehicles and big orky things. Nope, I used the cam. I do have an airbrush that I haven't been using because of my super loud compressor. But for these, I just did straight out of the can. To keep the detail, I just really, I really apply light coats, like just. And I keep the paint maybe about a foot and a half, a foot to a foot and a half away from the model. So I just kind of like, I squeeze the trigger like tss, tss, tss. The mistake that I made in the past was like pushing the trigger and holding it. It was like, because like with spray paint, when you spray paint outside of tabletop miniatures, you usually just like press the button and hold it, right? But with miniatures, you have to like apply really light coats. Yeah, that's a common mistake. I did the same thing the first few times. Like, man, where did all the detail go? You just like, your miniature just looks like you applied a thick layer of snot to it. And also letting the paint dry is important too. Like, I just go and then I kind of wait so that the paint has time to dry between the next light coating. Yeah, exactly. It's not there to paint the model. It's almost like a light dusting. I kind of think of it like little tiny particles that stick to the plastic and then they'll stick to the paint. I'm not trying to paint the model black or white or whatever. I'm just kind of dusting it. But in the beginning, yeah, I oversprayed the primer and lost a lot of detail. Maybe that's why my towel looked like crap. try something here, guys. Play with the angle of the camera a little bit. This might be better. Hey there, Ems. How's it going? $20. Wow. We've got Broken Colonies, our in-house expert on the stream. Are you mainly a painter collector, or are you mainly like a player, tournament player, Broken Colony? Or do you do a little bit of both? Oh yeah. Forget all of them. That's a lot of orcs is pretty much the reaction that I'm gonna expect from my opponents when I go to play them. I'm gonna deploy my army and they're gonna be like, whoa, that's a lot of orcs. I can adjust my, it might be because I moved my camera system around and my microphone might be further away.
Sunlight is not enough. We can burn like a flame through the atmosphere.
Is that better?
Starlight, it's calling us. Leave the ghosts of our past in the stratosphere. Oh yeah, yeah, it's calling us.
Dark Vengeance. It's an awesome set. Steto Thievin? Steto Thievin? Trying to figure out how to pronounce that. Stetot Heaven? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, you could Yeti, what you could do is you could just get them all built, paint yours, and get him to play unpainted. wait, I forgot about any gloves? No, no gloves on this guy. More. Oh, so his are still on the sprue? He hasn't even built them, eh?
Travel to freedom, broken and worn, but they will keep on in the moonlight, the moonlight. The pressure is on, the cold of the season makes it hard to feel, but they persevere for the end game, the end game. I can only wish that one day we'll find the one to keep. The journey is an endless one to the same love, the same love.
Oh, maybe it's just, you know, bad timing for him. Might have to go and find someone else to play against. Or maybe maybe you could offer to like ask him if he'd like you to build his models for him. And then maybe you can just build them, and just so you guys can play some games, even if they're unpainted.
Alone in the dark, they travel to freedom. Broken and worn, but they once kept on in the moonlight, the moonlight. I can only wish that one day we'll find the one to keep. The journey is an endless one to the same.
Yeah, Chris has been going to Chris is local here, and he's been going to the Games Workshop store locally here and just getting lessons on how to play the game. So he's been playing his Tau, getting some experience. Yeah, if you enjoy painting, why not, right? And maybe if you just build it for him and then get him like to play a game with you, he might he kind of might get reconnected to the energy that got him excited about the thing in the first place. Because for some people it's the painting part. Like for me, the painting part is what really got me excited. And for some people it's playing the game. Painting doesn't really do much for them. Or they look at painting kind of like, okay, it's something I have to get done so that my models look good enough to play with. But it's the play that drives their motivation. Everyone's a little bit different. Oh yeah, for sure. Guilt trip. Use whatever weapons you need. I'm still getting used to this new camera mount that I got. So I'm still getting used to like making sure that when I'm painting that I'm in frame. And I kind of have to look up to see if I am or not. So if I'm painting out of frame, bear with me guys. I'm still building the habit of making sure my model's in there visible for you guys. Yeah, painting's fun. Okay, so I'm just gonna go over these one more time. The first layer is pretty much done. Just gonna add a little bit more to it. Lighting a little bit. A little bit brighter. This guy's got a wicked little scar. I don't know if you can see it yet, but probably can't really. It's like right there you can kind of see these two lines. Let's see if I can get the camera. Lighting is too bright. But anyway, he's got these, I think you might be able to see it now. He's got these two lines across and they just kind of, it's like a scratch right there and there. Goes across his eye. I love it. Look at this guy. Oh, that's a nasty little looking bulb. I'm gonna remove that a little bit later. Alright, let's pick up the pace a little and get these guys done. Because I'm going to be still painting the green, I'm not really worrying too much about being a little bit messy here and getting some of this brown on the skin. It's funny, I watch some of the other streamers out there in this niche, and they're all like super pro painters doing like these amazing paint jobs. And they really take the time to, you know, make the models look absolutely amazing with layers and layers and layers of, and just amazing blending techniques. And I'm just here slapping on the paint, trying to get these guys done quickly.
There is no place and no moment in history where I could stand and say, oh, it begins here, now.
There's something here. Oh, it's way too dark, eh? I think after this I'm gonna paint the skin, because I like painting green. The Gaming Lawyer, welcome to the stream. Thanks for the follow. That's 4, and the final one. So Chris, how many games have you played with your tiles so far? Like, I mean at the store or whatever, at the GW store. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Sounds about right. 1.5 hours. I think that's kind of one of the reasons why War Machine is easier for new players to kind of jump into, because you can play these really small skirmish type games in like 45 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, maybe 40 minutes, maybe an hour. Alright, that's good enough. Let's start painting skin, orc skin. Yeah, the basic training is great. War Machine's also easier because the rules are tight. GW's rules are loose. What does that mean, the rules are tight? Like they're more explained in detail, so there's no or less interpretation by the players? Is that what you mean by that? Yeah, so what I did with the gaming lure, so what I did, something new I tried today. Let's see if I grab one of these guys here. What I actually did is I did 3 layers. First thing I did is I put them face down like this, and I sprayed, I primed them with black, flipped it over, sprayed another really light coating of black primer from the bottom, and then I put the model up. Well, of course I waited a few seconds for it to kind of, for the primer to dry a little bit. Then I flipped the model on its base, and then I sprayed a gray color, a gray primer. Again, really light dusting from both sides, and then waited for that to dry, like a minute or two, and then I did another spray, another light spray of white from the top. So basically 3 colors actually: black, gray, and then white. Kind of pre-shading, so I'm just testing out to see how that looks. Right. Yeah, so the War Machine rules are pretty much, yeah, I get what you're saying. Makes sense. There's no gray area, so there's less arguments. There's it's easier. Well, I guess for tournament play, it makes more sense too, because you know, you could win or lose a tournament based on somebody not really understanding the rules, or kind of, you know, purposely interpreting them in their own favor. But with War Machine, if the rules are spelled out, cut and dry, there's no, you know, there's no room for misinterpretation. Because that's one of the things, I guess, with tournament. I can't say tournament today. Tournament. With tournament play, like if you normally play with your friends, or if you play like at a local gaming store, and there's some rules that people interpret a certain way, for Warhammer, I mean, because it's so loose, you can kind of interpret it different ways. It might be that way, but then you go to a tournament and, you know, they kind of interpret it differently. Alright, Gaming Lawyer, thanks for popping by. We'll see you next time. Alright, let's get some green skin on these green orcs. So, Warpstone Glow is what I'm going to be using for the skin. Yeah, War Machine's fun, man. Like, I'm still really new to it. To be honest, I think I'm gonna enjoy painting GW models more than War Machine or Hordes. I think, but I'm not 100% sure, because I think the detail on them is a little bit different. But for playing the game, I think I'm gonna get addicted to War Machine a lot more than Warhammer 40k. There's just something about, I've only played a couple games, but there's just something, like when I read the rules for War Machine, it's like, it just makes sense. Like, oh yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. With Warhammer 40k, when I read the rules, I have to think real hard, like, wait, what are they talking about? I don't know, maybe it's just me. Oh man, I really have to organize my brushes better. I have to get some nice brushes, and I have to organize them better. Grendler! Good morning. I want to show you something, Grendler. Continuing on with your little technique that you taught me, I tried out something different today. I did a 3-color pre-shade. So I laid them flat this way, and I did a black primer from the bottom, and then I stood the models up, and I did gray from kind of like a... Thanks for the follow, Grendler. Oh wait for Borat to stop dancing. So I did black from the bottom, then I did gray, and then from the top I just did a little bit of white. So I've got a 3-color black, gray, and white. And of course I just really lightly so that I don't over prime them. Hopsin316, welcome to the stream, thanks for the follow. No evolving of your techniques? Alright, I will revert back to my old ways and I will only prime them black. That's funny. Yeah, I'm liking this camera setup. I'm still getting used to making sure that my mini stays in the frame, but I'll get used to that pretty quick. I prefer War Machine. The caster mechanic makes so much more variety. Yeah, War Machine's fun. Gotta switch this because it's bugging. My whip palette is looking miserable, so switch. So I was talking about this earlier. On my whip palette, I find that this paper, like when you soak it up and you put a little bit of water on it, see what it does? It tends to curl. At first I'm like, what the heck? This is stupid. Then I figured out that if you just flip it upside down and you get the other side wet too, then it doesn't do that anymore. It stays flat. Yep, I've gone turbo. I like the fact that with the turbo you get your video on demand videos up there for up to 60 days, I believe. So Grandler, somebody earlier on the stream was saying that if you get the Series 7 brushes, it pretty much makes you a pro painter instantly overnight with zero effort. You just go to bed one night, wake up next morning, and you're a pro painter. Is this true?
left starlight, the innocent lifetime flickers and flashes under a canvas. No, nobody seems worth it, while the feeling's sophisticated. The view is so restrained. The past is near.
Why is my music too loud?
Closer,
I don't think I changed anything.
let's just
Let me fix that right away.
tell me who's independent. Thumbs twiddling and your life's escaping your mind.
How's that? Can you hear me better now?
Ain't as free as it used to be, but that's quite alright when you're still 18. It seems to be, and I'll tell you who's overrated. What's a beautiful person with some hideous dreams? While the lining is in silver, we're verging on the
Awesome.
road that'll take us.
So what I was saying is that somebody earlier on the stream was saying that if you get the Series 7 brushes, it instantly transforms you into a pro painter. Like you just go to bed one night and put the Series 7 under your pillow or something, and you wake up in the morning and you're a pro painter with zero effort. Is this true? Yeah, at some point some kind of tooth fairy shows up in the middle of the night and converts you into a pro painter. Captain Crypto, welcome to the stream. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, the army painter, you're right. Like, I have a couple. Like this one. And I don't like them. Like the GW brushes that I had that are like, you know, they're trash. Like this thing, look how old this thing is. It's like the paint has come off the thing. This brush is probably like 10 years old or something. And I trashed it. But while it was new and before I trashed it, you know, they were kind of pricey, but they worked really well, so I was always happy with them. And then the army painter ones, it's like they're the same price as the GW brushes or similar, but from what I've seen so far, they suck. And the only reason I bought them is because the store that I usually shop at didn't have any of the GW brushes, like, meaning they do sell them there, but they're like always sold out. Like there's nothing. They have like this little bin where all the brushes are, and there's like nothing left in there. Just army painter, which probably makes sense because nobody's buying the army painter ones. That should have been my first hint, but yeah, I don't like them. I don't like the army painter. Cool, so I'll check that out. So basically there's a okay, so there's a Series 7 I see. So there's a series, yeah, so you got a Winsor Newton Series 7 miniature at, that's a number 2, and then you got Same thing, Series 7, but doesn't say miniature. Big difference there. Interesting. Thanks for that tip. That you probably just saved me from ordering the wrong brushes. So, what are you doing, cat? So I have to pay attention to that when I'm ordering them. I did not know that. How much does those Series 7 brushes cost? I know I looked them up before, but I can't remember right now.
Could be the sunset, or just the look in your eyes that shines so bright. Reach out over the ocean waves and try to come to life. Don't let go of the bright blue sky, because the future's looking far too light. Are you ready for a long dive ship to set sail and carry me through the starry night?
14 bucks. That's not too bad at all. So they're pretty much like similar price to like a higher end GW brush, meaning what GW considers higher end, or what they charge higher end priced GW brushes. Meaning it's not like the brushes are like $100 each or something. They're pretty much similarly priced to what you pay for GW stuff. Slap and tickle. I like that. Hey Grendler, if you're still with us, have you finished assembling those what is that oh, what is that? I want to say Iron Tower, but it's not the Iron Tower. What is that thing called? That that game from Games Workshop that... It's not Ivory Tower, is it? Man, drawing a blank right now. I think Grendler must have glued his fingers together. He was assembling, I was watching a stream earlier, he was assembling a bunch of miniatures.
Can't try to forget that you were here. Some part of me wants to disappear with you. I saw it all that I could afford. So only gonna fall into what you've explored.
Man, I definitely need to get a better chair in here. Hey, Real Shadow, how's it going? And the Pervy Monk, how's it going? The guy who filmed an entire horror movie in Snapchat, though, probably made some money from that, though, right? I've been looking at those what are they called? The racer chairs that all the gaming streamers are using. The ones that look like you're sitting in a Ferrari chair or something. They got the cool blue or red or yellow colors. And they look really comfy, and they have like all these different adjustments. And you kind of pick out the chair that fits your body type. The only challenge with those is that Acceptal. I have no idea how to pronounce that one. Acceptal. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for the follow. How do you pronounce that? The only way I can think of is Acceptal. Yeah, the only challenge with those racer chairs is there's no place around here that I can go to the store and actually like sit in one and try it out. And if I order online, like if I ordered one of those chairs, like putting the price tag aside, right? Because they are pretty expensive, but let's just say price is not an issue. If I ordered one online and it came in and I sat in it and it wasn't comfortable, that would really suck. Because how do you return a chair? Like I've seen how they're packaged, and once I unpackage it and build this thing, there's just no way I'll be able to get that back in a box to ship it back to the company. So it's kind of like, unless I can sit in it, I have no idea how they expect people to like pick the one that they want, or to, especially since that company has like, I've been on their website, and they have like, I don't know, like 7 or 8 different models, and each model is a little bit different for different body type. If I'm gonna go, I have to go full Borat, eh? I don't know, man. I'm a little bit scared to go full Borat. I have a funny story about Borat. I went to see that movie when it first came out, and I thought it was great. Like, his sense of humor, like, the guy is a genius. But I went to see the movie. I don't remember what the situation was, but it was like maybe like a Saturday or Sunday or something, and I actually went to see it with my wife in the middle of the afternoon. We don't usually go to see matinee movies, but it was like in the middle of the afternoon we went to see it, and we walked in, and there was this like elderly couple that walked in, and I swear to God, I'm like 90% sure that they had no idea what this movie was about. They probably just like, oh, let's go see a movie, and they walked into the theater and just kind of looked at, what's playing, and they had that, Borat standing there with his big mustache. So they're like, oh, I don't know, what's this movie? Let's go see that. There's no way they had any idea what this movie was about. They were like, they looked like they were maybe in their early, I'd say maybe their 70s or something. We saw them come in. I'm like, oh my God, they're here to see Borat? Like, do they know what this movie's about? And yeah, it was kind of funny. I'm pretty sure they weren't expecting to see what they saw. Yeah, I saw some really nice chairs at Costco here, and they're about, I want to say about $300. I sat in it, and it actually did feel really good. Like, it was really comfortable. But then it's like, I still wasn't sure, because when you, like, a lot of the people that use those racer chairs, they say a lot of positive stuff about them. They're like, man, these are the most comfortable chairs I've ever sat in. But I don't know how much of that is hype and how much of it is truth. But then if I'm spending like $300 on a Costco chair, and if I can spend like another $50 or another $75 and get one of those racer chairs, and if they are way better, then I don't mind doing that. But it's just, there's no way to tell unless I order one and then try to figure out how to return it if I don't like it. I wish they just had like a place, like a store somewhere here that I can go and try out the different ones and see which one I like better. Alright, Chris, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Have a good one. Yeah, Ali G is awesome. Did you guys see that Ali G episode where he punked Donald Trump? Got a meeting set up with him to show him his new invention. Yeah. I know what you mean, Broken Colony. It's hard to tell if people are just saying what they're saying because, you know, part of it could be just, hey, look, I just spent 500 bucks on a chair. What am I going to tell people, that it sucks? Then I'll look like an idiot for spending 500 bucks on a chair, right? But then on the other hand, it's like with some stuff out there, some stuff that's kind of hyped up, some of it really is good. So that's why I was saying, like, I'd love to be able to actually sit in one of them and just see, because I'd be able to tell right away if it's comfortable, if it's more comfortable, and even if it is more comfortable, is it like a 2% difference, or is it like, a night and day difference? Yeah, these are new Orks. These are 5 more boys that I primed today, and I'm just painting these guys. I'm doing a little bit of a batch painting process on them just to get them done faster. What's Brass Eye? Did this one get a bit more white than expected? No, what I did is I tested a new little technique that I want to try out, which is I primed it with black from the bottom, so a couple of sprays of black straight from the bottom. Then I lifted the model, I did a little bit of gray primer, and then from the top I did a little bit of white. So like a 3-color pre-shade, and I'm testing that out. Because that's what I like to do on my Orks, is test all kinds of stuff. Because with Orks, if they all look different, it doesn't really matter. Well, it's not like they're gonna look totally different, but if there's a slight variation in tone of skin or whatever from one to another, it's not gonna make that much of a difference. So I might as well experiment, test out some painting techniques, and learn something new. So it's similar to Ali G. That's cool. I might have to check that out. And it's called Brass Eye. I'll have to check that out. So Grendler came in and got me to turn down my music, and then he disappeared. I wonder if he's still lurking, or if he ran off to try out this 3-color pre-shading technique. Because he's the one who showed me how to do that. He showed me how to do the 2-color, like black and white. And I decided to try 3 colors to see if 3 colors is better than 2. Maybe he's out there right now with his airbrush testing it out to see how it looks. Oh, it's only 5? It's like, what is it, 2:51? It's almost 3 a.m. here. Why does the time go by so fast when I'm painting? By the time you've painted 50 orcs, you're wishing you were dead and the universe is giving you a helping hand for once. Yeah. There's definitely a lot of orcs that I gotta get painted. Luckily I like painting orcs, so it doesn't seem like that much of a chore. It's actually kind of fun. Yeah. If you start looking at it like how much time you invest into it, but I don't know. To me, it's like I enjoy painting. I think it's kind of relaxing and it's almost like meditation. And the truth is that if I wasn't doing this right now, I'd probably, like, if I wasn't painting, I'd probably be like on Netflix trying to find something to watch, some stupid show. Grizzly50, welcome to the stream. Thanks for the follow. So yeah, I mean, like, if I wasn't doing this, I'd probably binge watching some show on Netflix, and that's not really a good use of time either, right? You like the Borat, eh? The fuzz, eh? I'll have to see that. But I don't know if I'll ever get to it now because I've started painting and streaming, so my Netflix time has been cut down to almost non-existent. But if I ever accidentally trip over my remote control and turn on Netflix, I'll have to look for it. Borat and tabletop gaming. They definitely somehow go together, right? It would be really funny to see Borat walk into like a, or even LEG walk into a Games Workshop store and like have a conversation with like a Games Workshop employee about tabletop miniatures, and just trying to imagine what he would say. Whatever it was, it would be hilarious. Nope, have not heard of that. I have to check that out. Sounds hilarious. Those Japanese, yeah. They have some really funny shows. Like sometimes late at night you flip channels and there's some Japanese show that's like you just watch 5 minutes of it. You're like, what in the world is going on here? What is this about? They do crazy stuff. Alright, Grizzly. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. I need to be getting to bed soon myself here. Just gonna finish off this guy here. Unfortunately, I cannot sleep in tomorrow. Otherwise, I'd stay on for another hour or so, but that guy sounds like the Japanese version of Borat. Have a good night, Grizzly. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I find with comedy, it's kind of like different people have different senses of humor, and you almost have to find comedy that matches your sense of humor. Like there's some shows that I think are just hilarious, or even me and my wife will watch a show and we'll be like, oh my god, this is so funny. And then like somebody, like a friend or somebody will come over and we'll be like, oh, have you seen this show? It's so funny. And we show it to them, and to them it's like they're my dog's like moaning and groaning. What are you doing? We'll have like a friend over and we'll put on a show that we think is so funny, and they'll just be like, this isn't funny. But then there's other shows that they think are hilarious, and I look at it like, this is not funny at all. I think everybody has a slightly different sense of humor, and you have to kind of match comedy to your style. We're all looking for chairs, eh? I'm thinking that I might end up just going and getting that Costco chair that I tried out. It was really comfy. It's just, I was kind of thinking like, is there maybe an even better chair? If I'm already spending that much money, is there maybe a better chair that I can, you know, spend another $50 and get something even better? My sense of humor is sometimes a little bit too sarcastic, and people get offended because they don't know that I'm joking with them. I don't really take things too seriously in life, and I guess other people do sometimes, so sometimes when I say things that to people who don't really know me well, they get slightly offended or completely offended because they don't realize I'm just kidding around. Yeah, you'll have your you'll have your Series 7, so you'll be a pro painter. Do you guys watch, have you guys seen Burger88, that streamer? Tabletop painter? He streams. You guys have seen him, right? Burger88. I think he has a similar sense of humor to mine, so I find watching his stream like totally hilarious. It's like just constantly sarcastic comments coming out of his mouth, and I just keep laughing. Dirty Burger. Yeah, that guy's hilarious, man. That other night when he was attacked by the bugs. Oh my god, I laughed so hard. Not at the fact that he was attacked by bugs, but by his commentary afterwards. Well, it's a little bit harder. It's a little bit harder to interpret some of the humor when it's typed out. Like sometimes when people write stuff in the chat, because you can't hear you can't hear the tonality and stuff. You're just reading text. Sometimes it's kind of hard to, I guess, feel the energy behind or the intention behind what they're saying. So some of the stuff you don't know if people are just being mean or if they're being funny or. But as a streamer, when I listen to him talk, it's like you pick up little cues so you can tell if he's being sarcastic or if he's being serious or other streamers as well. I mean, but the chat, like the text chat, it's kind of hard sometimes. And then you throw in autocorrect in there, and half the time people are saying stuff, and a couple of a couple of letters get changed up here and there, and it's like, what are these people talking about, or what is this person talking about? And you don't know if they're cracking a joke or if it's just a typo or what's happening. What? You were helping him test his voice chat on stream. He was terrified I would go off the rails. Banned on Twitch. I found it really funny. Wait a minute. How would that even work? How were you helping him test his voice chat? Like, what could you possibly do from your side to get him banned on Twitch? Random muscle spasm. Shoots the brush. across the room. Oh, I know, but I mean, you're talking about like typing that into the chat?
I miss those nights when we were younger and we would never sleep.
Oh, voice chatting. How does voice chatting work? There's a voice chatting feature in Twitch?
Forget about tomorrow. Live for tonight while we're free.
Or is it something else? Oh, okay, so... Oh, like, do you know him personally? Like, do you, you guys were, like, on a Skype chat or telephone chat or something, and then he was gonna stream that? Like, it's not a feature that's built into Twitch, is it? Oh, okay, so you're on Discord. Okay, now I get what you're saying. He wanted to test that out. Yeah, that would kind of, I could see that being a little bit risky with, it's kind of like those streamers that, I was clicking around on some channels, and there's some streamers out there that allow their audience to pick the music for their stream. I guess people just like post a YouTube link or something and then just plays whatever song. I don't know if you have to be a subscriber for that or whatever their rules are, but if you tune into any of those channels, it's pretty much like 99% of the music. Nobody ever picks a normal song. They just play like strange, weird, like incredibly weird songs. So to me, it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I would ever want to have my audience picking songs or jumping on the voice chat. That could get pretty scary pretty quickly. Especially if you spend a year or so building up a Twitch following or a Twitch channel, and then to get banned, that would really, really suck after all that hard work. Did you know I have cancer? No, I did not know that. Song requests are fun and encourages people to watch longer. Yeah, so requests, I could see potentially requests, like if somebody requests something and then, I don't know, even then I'm not sure, like I understand the point behind it, but the streams that I was watching, they were more like it wasn't like it's not like somebody requested, it was more just like they would post a link and it would just start playing instantly. And I think I watched that stream for about 15 minutes and I did not hear a single song that made any sense. It was just like either really, really strange music that just sounded like random noise, or it was like really, really dirty songs, or I don't know. It wasn't like people just picking songs that, like, oh, you know, I haven't heard this song for a while. I really like this song. It's one of my favorite bands. Let's play that. It was more like people abusing that function and just going on YouTube and, you know, typing into the search like stupid song or funny song or, you know, whatever. So you are a Cancer, eh? Capricorn. Alright, touch up these little guys here, and then I think I'm gonna have to call it a night, guys, because I gotta be up pretty early tomorrow, which really sucks. Dirty Burger's back. Dirty Burger, that video of yours with the insect attack, I've shown it to a few people now. Like, I just fast forward to that one part and I just laughed so hard at that part. I don't know why, it's just so funny to me. And not the fact that you're getting attacked by a bug or that you have a phobia, but just your commentary is hilarious. Like that part where you talk about the mosquito that or the leather jacket or whatever, mayfly, whatever the thing is called, where it touches you and and it leaves a leg behind. I don't know why, but it's like I think everyone's experienced that at one point, because those things are so annoying, and like they're supposedly the least you know, that they're like totally harmless, but they're so ugly looking and they fly around these like hanging legs, and you're totally right, they touch you and like they leave a leg behind. Oh man, I don't know why, but I just find it really funny. Well, if you find the video, which is not hard to find because it's like whatever, three videos behind or whatever, 3 or 4 days ago. I think it's at like 1 hour and 23 minutes or something, or 1 hour 25 minutes, somewhere around there. I would totally take that one section because I think it goes on for about 5 minutes or so. You're painting the guy and it starts off with you going, holy crap, that was a big bug, and then I think you try to kill it but it lived, and then you smash it again, and then it touches your shoulder, and that's when you really start freaking out. That's probably when you black out. But it's like, I think it's about 5 or 10 minute clip, and I would take that and put it as a highlight reel, man, because that thing is hilarious. No second hand, eh? I'm testing out this light that I got. It kind of clips onto my camera, so it shines a light on the model, but not like I have these lights that point from the top down, but this one is like right around the lens, and it works really well when it's close up. I think the challenge of it is when I'm painting and my fingers are kind of in the way, then the light bounces off my fingers, and then the camera adjusts the brightness, and it makes the models look a bit dark. So I'm gonna have to play around with the settings on that, because if I bring it up close, you can see it's pretty bright. Like, I'll show you guys what it looks like without the light on. Look how dark it is. Like, it's hard to see anything with that, right? If I turn it on, it just brings the light up. Oh yeah, I can totally tell. You guys would go back and forth, and it would just escalate. Yeah, there would definitely be a ban in the equation at some point there. Twitch would have to step in and do something about your shenanigans. Where's that last guy here? Man, why does it have to be 3:30 in the morning? Why can't it be like midnight so I can paint for another 3 hours? Well, normally it wouldn't be an issue. I could stay up and then just at some point pass out and sleep, but unfortunately I have to be up early tomorrow. So, kind of sucks, but that's okay. This green looks so much brighter with the white priming. Either that or it's this new light that I'm using, but it just seems so much brighter. No, I haven't done a wash on it yet, so I'm not too worried, but I definitely need a few more layers. Oh yeah, for sure. Build a bunker for all the minis. Caliban. Caliban green. Well, they come out pretty dark even with the warpstone glow once I put a wash on it. So I kind of like that color. But yeah, Caliban's a nice color too. Alright. Probably gonna have to look for I might order my Series 7 this weekend. That way I can once those come in I can be a pro painter. Well, if I was painting some Dark Angels, then I might. I do have it, but I think it's still sealed, see? Still sealed. I do have it though. 5 nickels and a mousetrap for the Tooth Fairy, eh? Yeah, I'll have to keep that in mind. With my luck though, I'd probably set the mousetrap off on myself. Hurt my hand and there goes my pro painting career, right? Alright, so what have I done today? This guy. And this guy. And this guy. Man, this Logitech autofocus sucks on it. I gotta find a cool way to mount this third camera in a way that I can display these minis a little bit better. guys are... That one just doesn't want to... I'm gonna have to glue some pennies or something to the bottom, because he's like... Well, I mean, it's not exactly a perfect surface here, but they fall over so easily. Because they're so... These orcs, they lean forward so much. Which heresy? This one? You're talking about that? Well, I think it's hilarious, but maybe just because I'm like, I got a weird sense of humor or something. This one? There's heresy. Why will you not move? There. I gotta paint that guy one day. Yeah, I'm just working on my orcs. I want to finish, my goal is to get at least one of my armies done. I have so many armies started for 40k. So, and none of them finished, so I kind of want to just get these orcs done. So I can actually start learning how to play the game. And what better way to learn how to play the game than swarming somebody with a big swarm of green orcs. This guy's obviously already been in battle. He must have gotten attacked by one of the insects because he's lost his legs. But yeah, I'm just getting the getting these orcs done. I'm practicing my painting skills on the boys because there's so many of them, and they make good practice. And then I'll move on to some of my bigger models, and then maybe even some vehicles. Oh yeah, for an orc, this is nothing. I just put a little spit on that, stick it back. Good as new. I think I want to research and find a good compressor, like a airbrush compressor, because the one I have is way too loud, and I want to learn how to use an airbrush, because I think that'll be much easier to work with for vehicles. I'm scared to paint vehicles with a brush. I think it would look horrible. For small models, my inferior painting abilities are kind of hidden in the details, but for a large vehicle, I think my brushwork would look like crap. So hopefully I can learn how to airbrush, and maybe that'll make it a little bit better. Alright guys, I'm gonna have to call it a night here. Thanks for tuning in. next time I get on, I'll probably see if I can get these guys finished off, finish off the boys, and then start working on some slightly more interesting models. But for now, I gotta pro tip on the airbrush: don't spray cleaner in your eye. Yeah, that would suck. That would burn. I'd imagine that would really burn. Thanks for tuning in, guys. And I'll check out that highlight clip, Dirty Burger, next time I need a good laugh, because that thing cracks me up every time I see it. It's funny. You guys should go check it out. Go to his channel, click on that video, and see if you think it's funny. Alright guys, take care, and I'll see you, well, hopefully I'll see you on another stream. Alright, good night guys.